Welcome to Square Body Country. We are at the new location. We got the cab set up. We got the bed kind of in a spot. I mean, we may move it around, but we're not going to mess with the bed right now. We're going to more focus on the cab. I think for now, as long as the weather can stay warm enough for whatever paint or stuff like that I need to put on it so it can cure up without getting too cold, we'll focus on that. But here we are at the new shop. We're going to start working. I think today we're going to finish stripping out the cab, as far as taking everything off the firewall and inner panels and stuff like that. Get ready to try to remove the floor pan out of this one and get the new floor pan ready to go in. But yeah, hopefully we can make as much progress here as we were at the other place. You can see here we got the cab set up. We got it on some a little bit shorter stands. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue, but regardless, there it is. We got the bed sitting back here. We brought the old toolbox with us. And over here, we've got the truck frame. We've got it ready to go. You seen in my last video, we got the cross member in there. We still have to put the gussets in it and drill the holes, but I decided to go ahead and just leave it like that to be able to transport it. But here we are. We're going to be focusing on the cab for the time being. And then we're going to get to the point we're going to pull that off, drain the hydraulic fluid and stuff out of it, and get the frame assembly ready to cut out from under that bed and get it repaired. But I don't know, depending on the weather, the temperature is going to be the big determining factor. If it gets too cold, we're going to work on the bed. But until then, we're going to try to stay pointed at the cab. Well, I didn't realize the camera wasn't recording the whole time I was tearing apart the inside of the truck, so unfortunately we missed that. Oh well. All you got to see me is me wriggling around inside the cab like a turtle on my back trying to get the stuff under the dash. That's about all you missed. But inside the cab store part, minus the brake pedal, the wire going up for the cab lights, and the wire that it goes up for the dome light. We don't really need to take them out for what we're doing. We got the seat belts taken out, minus the center ones. Those are proven to be more of a pain than I feel like fighting right now. I'll just deal with them later when I strip the pan apart. As you can see, we got everything stripped out of the cab. We found us a little more rust right up there, which not a big deal. Can't be any more rusty than the rest of the damn truck. But there's the dome light wire. See the little wire hanging out over there for the cab lights. But there it is, all stripped out and ready to start moving forward with switching the pans out in it. The bolts up front here were messed up, had to cut them off. Not a big deal. I got another AC box. But you can see the rust right there. And we knew about that right there. There's just a little bit we saw up underneath that, but still not concerning. But there she is, all stripped apart. And ready to start stripping out for the pans. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to run up and down the back of this with the palm sander to help us better see where the spot welds are. Easiest way to do it with a sandblaster. I mean, you can super clearly, easily see spot welds, but we're not in a position to move around and sandblast right now, so we're going to go around it with the sander. The sander will run across and show us where our high and low spots are. Well, that took a lot longer than what that little short sped up version is going to be, but one thing I will, good piece of advice, and I'll admit I didn't take my own advice on this. When you're buying stuff like paper, try not to cheap out on that stuff too much. I bought like the cheapest crap I could find, and it is crap. It sticks extremely well to the sander, but the grit does not stick very well at all to the paper. It doesn't take very long, and it's pretty smooth. So I shouldn't have had to went through but one sheet of paper to do that whole thing, but wound up going through 3. So, but as you can see, running them down with the sander, now I can see where my spot welds are at. So I know where to drill to get the rear seat pan section out of here. Not as clean or as smooth as the Sandblaster, which I'm a big fan of, but nonetheless, still gets the job done. Back of the cab's drilled out, ready to go. I did not worry about coming down through here. Obviously, I'm cutting all this stuff off anyway. But since I don't have the cab structured yet, I'm not trying to completely dislodge this entire back piece. But I do want all the way down through here, all of those spot welds to come out, and they came out. Some of them was a little off on it, so there's a little tear, but it's like we seen on the rocker panel, just a little massaging. It'll come right back in, be perfectly straight. I've got to put some patch panels through here anyway, and most of the really funky spots are going to be where the patch panels are going to be. So it is what it is, kind of deal. There's a little more patchwork on the back of the cab than I originally thought, but ultimately it's okay. As long as my bottom seam through here is really good, and actually it really is, I can come right to the edge of this seam with all of my patches and go up. So I can maintain all of that, and I don't have to worry about reshaping that because it's already there. But as you've seen with the rocker panels, I can come through with my little flat dollies and my hammer, and I can just peck it and smooth it right back out anyway. It'll all be good when it's done. Next thing is going to be to go around the front, do the same thing with the front. Then once all the front is ready to go, after that it's going to be put some structure supports in the cab to hold it in place. And then we'll come down through here in the corners, cut it, and lift the truck off the old pan. When we do that, we'll go through and we'll do our patch panels that we need here on the back of the cab and on the front. And we should be ready to go after that. We'll have to remove the kick panels on the inside, but after that, we'll be ready to set it down on the other pan. Good times, man. Making progress.